Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me for the start of a road trip adventure. In fact, the very first Euro tour to begin from here at the Shmeemuseum, something I've been looking forward to. Today, setting off with two of the Shmeemobiles, the GT4 and the GT R Roadster. Now I'm going to take the wheel of the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4, my first journey abroad with the GT4, and of course we are going to be heading to the Nurburgring. I cannot wait to get this car out on the green hell. We're also taking the GT R Roadster, which I did a tour with earlier this year, but due to all of the travel restrictions and timings, we weren't able to take it to Opus to do the seat upgrade. Remember last year, I actually purchased some bucket seats to go into this, where we're going to be stopping off to finally get those installed. There are other things along the way, visiting the IAA, the Autobahn, checking out some new cars too, and of course, GT4 at the Ring. I can't wait for that. But also here at the Shmeemuseum, we have just taken delivery, as you can see over here, of the new racing simulator to take part in the REMUS GT3 Championship 2021. That is beyond epic, and probably before getting the GT4 to the Ring, I need to go and have a little bit of practice again, get back in the swing of things, get the cars all prepped, get ready to go. Today is road trip adventure beginning time. Very shortly, we will be getting on the road with these two. We've just loaded up the cars, and we'll get to those in a bit more detail in just a second. Of course, the others will be sitting tight here at the Shmeemuseum, all packed away in the hands of the team. We've got the majority of the cars here at the moment. The GT Black Series is very shortly to be turning yellow. That's away for the respray, and the SLS Black Series is having the fine-tuning of the audio system, plus the GT500 over in the US. But today is about these two fairly recent acquisitions. The GT R Roadster I have now had for about 9 months, driven it 4,300 miles in total, but many more of course to come. The GT4 I picked up about 4 or 5 months ago. I think it's done 2,200 miles up to this point, but again, many more over the next week or so, hence the installation of a new set of Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. In fact, we've also got Sport Cup 2s on the GT R Roadster as well. When it comes to loading the car up though, the GT4 is super practical. You have two boots, two trunks, one up front, one in the back. We just open these very quickly. In the front, you have enough space in here for a couple of suitcases, which works super well. Close that back down, and in the back, enough for some smaller bags to tuck in also. Works brilliantly, to be honest. This is a really good car for touring, where we struggled a little bit with the amount of space in the boot of the GT R Roadster before, although driving it roof down always makes up in some way for that. So they're loaded up with the smart chargers. Who knows where this journey is going to take us, but I do want to touch for a moment on this. This is something that's been an absolute must to have at the garage, a very serious racing simulator. This is the Track Time 3 Motion that's just been delivered. It is totally addictive and epic. It's running Race Room, and with that, I'm taking part in the REMUS GT3 Championship 2021, and you can get involved too. You can qualify to join Team Shmee 150 up until the 16th of September. We'll be taking part in a series of races from September to December with a team of 14 sim racers in the REMUS GT3 Championship. REMUS, the Austrian exhaust manufacturer, supporting the championship that we have here, Team Shmee 150 versus Team Malmedie. Yes, you recognize correctly, Matthias Malmedie has his team as well, the presenter of the German TV show Grip, plus there's also a prize pool worth 25,000 euros. That's 10,000 euros in cash and 15,000 euros in non-cash prizes like a REMUS exhaust system too. So what are you waiting for? The information is down below. Get qualifying and let's build a team to go and compete in the REMUS GT3 Championship. For now, in advance of taking the GT4 to the Ring, let's go do some laps. The Track Time 3 Motion Sim makes you feel so much like you're in a real racing car, it boggles the mind. We've got the fixed bucket seat attached to the full motion control. We've got the racing steering wheel, paddle shifters, configurable buttons. You can set everything up, of course. We've also got the curved digital display to immerse you in the experience of it. And in fact, to show you a little bit of this very quickly, you can see we have got the leaderboards, but I need you guys to get involved to qualify so we can put together the strongest possible team to compete in the GT3 Championship. For the moment, I need to give this a quick go. It would be wrong to do this any other way. We are in the Nurburgring Nordschleife Touristenfahrten car park in an AMG GT3, not just any GT3, my friend Adam Christodoulou's AMG GT3. Anyway, let's hop back in the car, into gear, because this is quite the surreal and crazy experience. I'm going to go out for a quick little lap, get my sights in on the Nordschleife, and then go and do it for real. This is absurd. Sitting in this seat, you feel everything. Just go 240 kilometers an hour through the compression. I don't entirely know what I'm doing in this. Firm on the brakes. The brake pedal feel in this is just immense. A little bit early on the brakes there, but we're actually doing a Touristenfahrten lap as opposed to going straight down the GP circuit start line there. This is seriously intense, flat out. Probably didn't need to lift quite so much there, but I tell you what, you feel it in this. Taking a proper beating, just like being in the actual race car as we come up now to Stijlstrekke, the corner just before Carousel. We come down now to Brunchen, the famous corner from all the photos and videos. And I'm just chilling through it because I don't want to get it wrong in front of all of the cameras, obviously. There we go, that was all right. I probably need to apologise to Adam for one of the slowest laps a car with his name on it will ever do around the Nürburgring. But here we go. Hey, 6:45. That's not too bad. I'm okay with that. Nice. Right, there we go. That is the end. It is time to load up and get on the road. Let's get this journey started then. Some excites for the road. Energy is definitely going to be needed. It was not a long night, and we've got a long old journey ahead of us. Get this started. Oh yeah, sounds good. So we'll get the cars outside and the journey begins. It's pretty much business as usual. We're currently crossing over the Dartford Bridge, the Thames Estuary. You can actually see, as we go back past here, all the way to the skyscrapers of London, over the River Thames. As we cruise, we've got Schmark 150, in fact, driving the AMG GT R Roadster over today. Two cars with very different characteristics. That's more the GT, but this is a very pleasant long-distance car. Exhaust valves, they're currently closed. All of the luggage space, as I said earlier, quite a smooth ride. Quite comfortable, long gearing, which means you're not constantly going from one gear up into the next or vice versa. Just a gentle stroll. We've had a bit of traffic on the M25. This is the motorway, the ring road around London. But from here we are heading, of course, another hour or so to the Eurotunnel to take the train across the channel to get over to France, through France for about half an hour, through Belgium for a couple of hours, and into Germany. The first question here at the Eurotunnel at the check-in, are you heading to the ring? I guess with these two cars, it was pretty obvious where we are going at the moment, although having done those laps on the ring, if I can say that on the simulator earlier, my hips are actually feeling it a little bit, which is quite interesting. That is a serious piece of kit. Anyway, the sun is trying to poke through. It is pretty windy though, so we'll head straight through, go board the train, crossing under the channel, and get over to France. This has actually gone very quickly today. It's been a super smooth process, even compared to the last time we were here, which was only back in May. And we're going straight into the train now. We're at the front, GT R Roadster is behind. In fact, the last little trip was our code-named Roster Tour with the GT R Roadster. This journey is, well, remarkably easy so far, to be honest, which is a good thing. As if by magic, we roll out the other side then, about to touch down in France, pop the car into kilometers. It's so easy to do that in all of these cars now, and thankfully, it looks quite sunny, which is nice. Thank you to the staff here at the Eurotunnel. So let's go onwards. We've got about, I think, 5 hours, 5.5. We've got to stop along the way actually to get to the destination today, so onwards with the drive. We have the sign. In a second, we're in France. We're rolling into our third country of the day then, crossing the border into Belgium. England, France, Belgium. I don't know if we cut through the Netherlands today, or if we go straight next to Germany. We'll see when we get and where we cross the border, I guess. When we're doing these journeys going all the way across Belgium, there are two things I always talk about that you very rarely manage to avoid. The first of those is to go all the way through Belgium without it raining. Up to this point, the only rain we had today was in England. Since we've been in Belgium, it's actually been pretty much like this the whole way, mostly blue. Let's hope it stays this way because it makes for a much more pleasant journey across the country. The second thing that I talk about all the time is that you can't get through Belgium without, at some point, sitting in a traffic jam at any time of day. And while we might be flowing right now, a few minutes ago, we were completely standstill on the motorway in a traffic jam somewhere near Brussels. It always happens. It's the very rare, exciting opportunity when you get through the country without those. Anyway, it is a couple of hours, a couple of 100 kilometers all the way across Belgium. We will get through the other side shortly, and then this route does, I think, take us directly to Germany. I'm in the passenger seat because I was so tired after last night. Short night, late night getting things sorted out, that I needed a bit of chill, downtime, not driving just for a moment. But yeah, generally going pretty well, to be honest. Jump ahead a bit. We're still in Belgium. We've had a fuel station stop, filled up both cars. Probably going to be doing that quite a few times during this tour. And also with the GT4, had to get some oil for it. Now, because it's the naturally aspirated flat six engine in this car, it does consume oil. In the booklet, it actually says per 1,000 kilometers, it can consume up to 0.8 litres, which is quite a lot, to be honest. Anyway, had to do a quick little fill up. We are now, though, on our own in a traffic jam. Surprise, surprise. The GT R Roadster just disappeared off that way because it's going a slightly different route for the time being, while we make our way to a checkpoint along the way, although at this pace it's not going to go so well, so we're going to have to see what happens. But like I said, this is par for the course. Here we go then, departing from Belgium, heading into Germany near to Aachen, and we're on the German Autobahn. Just after this service stop is where you officially have the signs, but the de-restricted Autobahn has begun from here. We are now in Germany, ready for some plain sailing, and hopefully some open roads this evening, and plenty of opportunity to enjoy some Autobahn, although we've got roadworks coming up very quickly. 180 k's. It's about 120 miles per hour. Awesome. Back at the wheel then, let's get it started. Compulsory thing you have to do in here, press these buttons. Exhaust on, I'm going to go with auto blip as well. But let's head straight out, go do this. Driving, for me at least, one of the Shmeemobiles for the first time on the Autobahn without a 200 km/h speed limiter from the fun we had with the GT R Roadster earlier this year. So the first time actually this year at all, 2021, considering all of the strange travel rules, regulations, restrictions, and not being able to be here all that much. But then, out we go. De-restricted Autobahn, foot flat. Gotta watch out for other fast moving traffic. Car coming past quickly. Now we can go. Listen to this engine as it revs up. The car is so planted as well. The fun of the German Autobahn. Just got to watch out for trucks, other vehicles, you never know. This car is surprisingly planted. I mean, 230 kilometers an hour. It's not the fastest car in the world. It's 400 or so horsepower. It's plenty quick, believe me. But it's very, very well composed, and that's what's going to make it so fun when I get into the Autobahn as well. And the auto blipping on the shifts. Perfect perfect rev match shifts. Then put back down in evening sunshine, up to about 8,000 RPM. What a car. 250, that's 155 miles per hour. The car does it pretty easily, it has to be said. And then you get the fun of going back down through the gears. I can't wait to have this on the Nurburgring. We are quickly picking up some bugs on the windscreen though. Plenty of bugs getting very, very, very splattered this evening. I'll probably have to do something about that in the morning. 280 or so kilometers an hour. And onto the brakes in the corner. Up in front of us here, we actually have the city skyline of Cologne with the cathedral. You can see in the centre, although it is quite busy this afternoon, as you can see from the number of cars on the road, so it's a bit of a cruise. We did just have one blast up to about 286 kilometers an hour, I think I saw on the dashboard, so that's somewhere in the region of high 170s. But when it's like this with so many cars around, you've got to obviously keep your wits about you. This is where it's good to have a car that is like this, properly maintained, new tyres, all good, re-torqued up, everything checked as it needs to be, and sounding like this. Flat 6 wailing away. I love it. Absolutely love it. Wakes you up at the end of a long drive like today, that's for sure. We're not far now from the quick checkpoint before making the way on later to the Nurburgring. It's quite funny when you slow down, you're still going 100 miles an hour. Following somebody, it just feels really slow compared to what we were doing a moment ago. Behind the Audi in front of us here, in fact. Down to 4th gear, there we go. Build up those revs, that's what they're for. Paying for them all, whether you use them or not. Might as well have some fun. Speed limit on the brakes. We've got the carbon ceramics in here, although even the steels in the GT4 obviously do a nice job. Down to 120, that feels like quite the deceleration. This is quite unusual. There is a transporter filled with English cars here near Cologne. Are they all English? Do they all have English registration? No, those are German. That one's English. It's a complete, I say English, British I should say. Complete mix, totally random. No idea where they're going, why, what, when, because right-hand drive UK cars aren't particularly useful over in this direction. Made it then to a very familiar looking driveway. Of course, it is pitch black here, so you'll have to believe me that both of the cars are just over there. The GT4 and the GT R Roadster, the maiden voyage over to the continent for the GT4. I believe the previous owner did actually take it down to Monaco once in the past. Technically it's done a road trip before. The GT R Roadster is back here, of course, and I need to work out what order various things are going to be done. The GT4 doing some laps, the GT R Roadster going over to Opus to have those seats installed, but a pretty successful drive. I feel very beaten up from the GT4's bucket seats and driving on the simulator earlier on today. But of course, on that note, do be sure to qualify on Race Room to join Team Shmee150 in the REMUS GT3 Championship 2021. This looks set to be very exciting over the next couple of months. The series of races with the prize pool for the drivers available as well. For today though, I'm exhausted. A long drive over to the continent, but there's some cool stuff to come in the next couple of days. That's it for now though. Thank you very much for watching. As always guys, check the info down below for the REMUS GT3 Championship, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!